What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with a transfer deadline day special. Who will Arsenal sign? Who will they sell? As you can see, people, deadline day, we're in here. Forget Sky Sports News. This is Shaw Sports News. You know, I've got my own sources, better sources than them. Big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're well. Hope you're safe. And let's see what Arsenal are going to do today. We're expecting a busy day at the Emirates. And listen, most of the transfers will probably be transfers out the door. But we're just hoping that we get one in. One through the door would be something positive. Can we get that left back that we're looking at? And, you know, let's see who we bring in. Big up everyone for tuning in. Of course, you know the rumors that are going around. Oh, here we go. I knew this would come up at some stage. I knew it would come up. Didn't you want Jose Mourinho, Curtis? Boy, we dodged a bullet with that one. Ha ha. Listen, as I say, I'm going to say two things and then we won't talk about it the rest of the time. Number one, what Jose does at Tottenham has nothing to do with what he may or may not have done at Arsenal. Two totally different clubs, all right? I get it. I want to see Mourinho flop at Spurs. I love it. It's, you know, I love seeing him flop. He looks vexed. He's saying, you know, he's dissing the team now, saying I've won trophies in 4 different countries. Last time Spurs won the titles before he was born. He's already firing shots at them. But also, let's just keep in mind, we're below them in the table. They've got a game in hand as well, and they're in the League Cup final. So ultimately, they are having a better season than us, although it is close. So, you know, let's just keep that in mind. But listen, I knew that was going to happen. I knew Mourinho was going to come up early. I say my piece there, you know, and there we go. I've got Robbie coming on later in the week, so look out for that. We're going to have a real good debate about the managers and things like that. So listen, I knew that comment would turn up very early, so I appreciate it. Let's get that out of the way from early. Brett says, yo, Curtis, how you going, bro? We need a left back. Let's hope we get that left back in, man. Let's hope we get one in today. Looks like more like people going out of the door, you know, than people coming in. Curtis, you see what Brighton tweeted after the win? Teams like Brighton, total mockery to that girl. Yeah, Ceballos, man, the Tottenham fan. She was getting hammered last night. I think sometimes people have to rein it in a little bit, you know. Banter's fine. Banter is fine. I say it all the time. But she was actually getting abuse from people, and that's where, you know, you got to draw the line. What you got to understand, these people running these accounts now on social media, most of them are like young 25-year-olds who just, you know, putting things for a bit of a reaction. Like I said, the guy who runs the Arsenal Twitter account is a Southampton fan. You know, it's crazy, man. But she set herself up with that comment. That's the thing. Van Arnold is coming in, possibly. Possibly. Let's see. Yeah, but isn't Mourinho still ahead of you? That's what I'm saying, man. Let's give him. Let's fire shots when we overtake them in the league. You know. I'm still Jose in, says Broads. Big up, Broads. Go and subscribe to his channel. Listen, I don't change. I still would have taken Jose Mourinho ahead of Mikel Arteta. And until Mikel Arteta convinces me otherwise, I will stick by that comment. I don't care what he does at Tottenham. I hope he flops. I still think he could have done better at Arsenal than what Arteta has done so far. But what I will say, I hope Arteta turns things around. We are starting to see progression, but I want to see a lot more than what I've seen so far. I haven't seen enough yet. We're 10th. You know, let's not act like we're flying. Mourinho probably won't be there last season. He's firing shots all over the place. You know, man's licking off shots everywhere at the moment. So, yeah, I agree with you. He'll probably be gone by next season. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, the man said, what did he say? I've won more trophies than Tottenham have won, and this, that, the other. So it's all going off. It's all going off. Listen, we've got breaking news, people. We've got breaking news. Shaw Sports News. You know, as I said, big up to all you guys in the comments for telling me to go and have a look at this. Let's go and have a look. We have breaking news live on air from Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Live on air. We're getting this before Sky Sports, people. Exclusive. Fabrizio Romano. Shkodran Mustafi has reached the agreement with Arsenal to terminate his contract. Confirmed. Schalke are set to sign him. Kabak replacement. Last steps as Liverpool are waiting to sign Kabak deal on loan with buy option. Arsenal. If ever you needed an excuse to throw a party during lockdown, Shkodran Mustafi is leaving Arsenal. Oh my days. What is it he always used to tweet? Hashtag back on top. Literally one of the worst defenders we have ever signed in Arsenal history when you consider the price. Shkodran Mustafi will no longer be an Arsenal player by this evening. Mustafi, Kolasinac, Ozil, Socrates in one window. Wow, Edu, fair enough. It ain't the boom Messi that you was talking about, but Mustafi out the door. Woo-hoo-hoo. Jeez, not bad that for a Monday, you know. Mustafi is gone. What a horrendous signing this guy has been. 35 million, a terrible centre-back. The agreement's been reached. Arsenal, you know, what you got to look at. It's crazy how we're actually, you know, agreeing terminations with players that we paid so much money for. A lot of this blame has to fall with Ivan Gazidis and Arsene Wenger, you know. Giving Mustafi a big contract at £35 million, a player that we have not been able to sell. And in the end, we've had to pay him to leave the club. We've had to pay Socrates, pay Mesut Ozil to walk out the door. We've really been tied down by these horrendous deals. But people, Monday, Shkodran Mustafi is leaving Arsenal Football Club today. Fabrizio Romano, Mr. Here We Go. He's actually got it copyrighted now, as you can see. He got it copyrighted. Mustafi has agreed to leave Arsenal and terminate his contract. Yes! Shaw Sports News, people, keep it locked right here. Big up everyone in the comments who said check Fabrizio's tweets. Sky Sports will tweet in a minute, but they're behind schedule, man. As I said, people, deadline day, we're live. Mustafi is out the door. Arsenal is still the best club. I'm so happy. Well, listen, we got to fight our way back to the top, man. You know, we got to fight our way back to the top. We have not made a single penny from any of these outgoings. Pathetic. Listen, all we can do, Edu, is try and clean up the mess. He's been left with the mess. All he can do is try and clean that up. So listen, I'm not gonna have a go at Edu. This is Ivan Gazidis and Arsene Wenger who signed these clowns. You know, Mustafi out the door, man. Yo, where's the drinks at, man? We finally got rid of that clown. All this deadwood leaving the club. You know, big up Edu, man, and Arteta for getting rid of them. Desperately needed to get him out. So bad we have to terminate players, a disgrace. Yeah, like, you would think we could at least pick up a 10 million, a 8 million, something like that for Mustafi. German international. You telling me if Mustafi didn't play for Liverpool, you know, you'd see Liverpool get 15 million for him. Shaw Sports TV, the best news show. Now you need to copyright the news so Sky can't steal it. Listen, people, you lot said to me in the comments there, check Fabrizio's tweet. I didn't even have it up on the screen, so I'm giving you lot the credit. Here we go. Mustafi is out the door, people. You know, we didn't even get £10 for these lot. Imagine we actually sold a player for a tenner. Like, yeah, just give us a tenner, you can have him. You know what I mean? Oh, dear. They probably wouldn't even pay a tenner. Mustafi was decent when we first got him, to be fair. He had that little partnership with Koscielny for a little bit, but then it just went downhill from there and it got worse every season. There it is. Back on top, Mustafi. Get out of here. So glad to see this guy out the door. Bruv, this is how bad times are. We're celebrating terminating contracts, not even signing people. We're actually just celebrating getting these men out the door. Willian will end up like Mustafi. We'll have to buy him out. You can see it already, innit? You can see it. Drop the likes, people. Don't forget the One Football app. Big up Jay Torres. I appreciate that, man. Hey, what did I tell you yesterday? I told you, though, didn't I? I told you that Leicester were the top 4 club that was after Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I told you this. Listen to me, people. Arsenal fans celebrating letting players on a free. Meanwhile, Leicester selling players for 50+ million. Listen, even Leicester couldn't sell Mustafi for 50+ million. We're just trying to clean up the mess, man. It is a mess, but that's all we can do. Thanks, man, Kurt. It's such a biased show. Oh, man. The process has begun with Mustafi gone. Oh, it's crazy. Termination of contract, Mustafi gone. Curtis got the inside know-how. Now, listen, people. You lot was in the comments telling me, check Fabrizio. I owe you lot 50% of the credit, man. You know? When you spill a drink on the floor, all you can do is clean it up, man. That's all we're doing, cleaning the mess. Very good news, but surely what the AFC Bell disclosed about chaos and then was shut down for it is much bigger news than any transfer. Well, amazing, because AFC Bell, I have to admit, probably with Fabrizio Romano, the most reliable source for Arsenal transfer information on social media. He puts out this report revealing all this information about Raul Sanelli and all these transfers and coaches and stuff. And within a couple of days, he deactivates his account. Now, I think Arsenal may have leaned on him there. I seriously think so. There was something more in that story. Drinking some Jamaican beer after hearing this. Come on, man. You got to. Jay Torres, big up Jay Torres with a super chat, bro. He said, Curtis, with all these contracts being terminated, should we all expect a big transfer window in the summer? Who should come in? I mean, listen, terminating contracts is great. That will save us wages. That will give us an opportunity to go and spend those wages on other players. But we still need to have the transfer fees to go and buy the players. And to me, that's going to rely on what competition we're in next season, whether that's the Champions League, Europa League, or nothing. So we still have a lot to do on the pitch. How long will this stream be? Probably an hour, 1 hour. I'll be back later on as well. Sure Sports News, man. We're here all day, people. Yellow screen behind. We're here, man. Curtis, being as you're big in the game and work with Sky now, did you know the snake was in the Arsenal camp? No idea. No idea. The rumor was that it was Ozil's agent, but whether that's true or not, who knows? V Rexa said, listening to Big C at work, keep going. Thank you for tuning in. Sean Wright says, bless up, Curtis. We need a big win over Wolves on Tuesday. Yep. Preview will be out tomorrow morning and live stream tomorrow. So check that out. Raul was a shady man. I wonder how much of the Pepe transfer he pocketed here. Listen, I think he got his pension out of that deal. I reckon he got a good drink out of that one. I never thought we'd get rid of Mustafi. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. We need 150 million this summer. Need to demand that 100%. Listen, let's have a look at a few other stories that are doing their rounds. Obviously, lots going on. And, let's see. Obviously, this is one that looks like it's going to happen. Joe Willett to Newcastle. The Chronicle have tweeted, get to know Joe Willett, Newcastle United Football Club, likely incoming loan man. Joe Willett to Newcastle. Now, I think that's a pretty good move for Joe Willett. I honestly do. Out of our young players, in particular, Willett, Nelson, and Ketia, I've always felt like Joe Willett does have some sort of ability. He makes good runs from attacking midfield. He's quick. He's got a bit of power. I just think his decision-making in the final third is desperately lacking. And he hasn't had a loan move. You look at, Eddie and Ketia went to Leeds. Nelson was in Germany. Smith Rowe went to Germany and then went to Huddersfield. I think it's Joe Willett's time to go and get game time. Two things happen out of this deal that we hope. Number one, he goes well. And Newcastle say, do you know what? We'll sign him for 20 million, 15, 20 million, young English midfielder. Or number two, he comes back to Arsenal a much better player. We are still weak in the middle of midfield. We don't have midfielders really who score goals. And listen, if he goes there, gets 20 games, matures, improves, we either sell him or he comes back a better player. So a win-win for me. And I think he's done well to get a Premier League move, Joe Willett. But I do think he needs game time. He needs understanding of first-team football, and his decision-making in the Premier League definitely needs to improve. A straightforward 6-month loan deal, no option to buy. Steve Bruce has targeted him. It did say this morning that Willett wasn't sure whether he wanted to move to the northeast or not, being as he's a London boy. But listen, it's 6 months. You need to go and play football. It's in the Premier League. And I think that deal is going to happen for Joe Willett. What do you guys think about that? For me, a good deal for Joe. I think, going into that side at Newcastle, they don't score a lot of goals from midfield either. Let's hope... he can do well. A cheap option to buy for Willett. I mean, listen, there's no option to buy in the deal, but he could certainly improve up there. I think it's a good move for him. Who will now play in the Europa if Willett leaves? Our centre mid area is lacking, bruv. I think the thing is now because of the team that we've been drawn in the Europa League, I don't think there's even any room to put out players that we wouldn't be playing before. I think we're going to have to go full strength in the Europa League. So I don't think Joe Willett would have played against Benfica anyway. So I don't look at it and think, oh, we're short there now. I think you will see the likes of Thomas Partey in the Europa League. Do you know Mark Goldbridge? Yeah, I know Mark. Met him a few times. I still speak to him as well. Big up Goldbridge, quality channel. Your analysis of Willett was perfect, Big C. Couldn't have summed it up any better. Listen, he needs game time. He definitely needs game time. Sometimes that loan makes all the difference for a young player. So I know a lot of Arsenal fans have written Joe Willock off over the last few months because he hasn't played that well. But 20 games at Newcastle may actually make a huge difference to him moving forward. Broad said, all these people going out, nobody really coming in. I'm apprehensive about some of these transfers, especially with our injury record. I think the thing is, you have to remember we have signed 2 players this month, in Odegaard and Matt Ryan. So we have added to the squad. Obviously, Kolasinac, Socrates, Mesut Ozil out. And I still think another, couple will leave today. But yeah, I do want to see someone coming in, definitely. No FA Cup and Europa League knockout, so it makes sense. Willett, Nelson, and Nketiah even. I'm really surprised that Eddie Nketiah is not being linked with a loan move, to be honest. Maybe because of Balogun not being fully involved at the moment, that they are kind of looking at it and thinking they need to keep Eddie around. But if it was me, Eddie would be going out on loan. No more Irish pub teams to play in for Eddie and Willett. That's it, man. It's crunch time. Benfica are not no soft team. They're capable of beating us if we don't turn up. So I think you'll see us at full strength in those type of games. So I wouldn't expect to see us putting weaker teams out in them games. Rion said, Curtis, can we beat Wolves? Definitely. Wolves are in bad form at the moment. Not scoring goals. Confidence is low. Lacking the striker. Evidently, obviously, since Raul Jimenez was injured against Arsenal, they really look like they're struggling in that striker position. Did you see we are linked with Hakimi? Listen, I would love that deal to happen. Apparently, Inter Milan are in massive debt, and they're going to have to sell a couple of players in the summer. Hakimi being linked with Arsenal for around £35 million. I would be all for that. Hector Bellerin said something in an interview today saying he sees his future at Arsenal. He's still got 2 years left on his contract. Listen, for me, Hector Bellerin, I would upgrade him in the summer. I would sell him. I think Cedric looks competent, but I wouldn't want to move forward with Cedric as our full-time right back. If we could get Hakimi, maybe Pereira from Leicester, maybe Max Aarons, maybe Lamptey, I would be prepared to sell Hector Bellerin in the summer. This overall was overdue from the Wenger days. I mean, they created the problem. That's the thing. So, yeah, it's been overdue for years. So it is positive. The club is starting to fix itself. It's just I want us to achieve something this season. Can we win that Europa League? Or get top 4? For me, the Europa League is probably a better option for us. Ossian said, big up from Ireland, my G. Mustafi leaving really has made my day. Don't know about you, but I see this window as a huge 8 out of 10. The deadwood is almost gone. I think in terms of players going out, definitely been a good window. Getting rid of the deadwood is vital to clear the way for players coming in. In terms of players coming in, I think we've had an okay window. Look, we're tight. We're tight. We're not a club that goes and spends big money in January, usually. Listen, I think to get Odegaard, to get Matt Ryan, hopefully get a left back today. Let's see. The Cop TV in the house. Hey, big up. Hey, bruv, you're saying unlucky. We've just done you a big favour, That centre-back that Liverpool are signing, Schalke needed a replacement to get that deal done. Yeah, we just chucked Mustafi out the door to Schalke so you can go and buy the guy from Schalke. So, hey, listen, man, relax yourself. Big up AGT, man, the Cop TV, though, man. Pereira, no chance. Arsenal can't afford him. I reckon we could in the summer. I mean, because of Justin and that at right back, you never know. I don't think they would want to sell him, but I'm sure he'd be, if he can't get back in the team, maybe he would look at it. Musty is gone for time for a drink. Oh my God. Get him out the door, please. Yeah, no worries, AGT. Big up, man. Good win for Liverpool yesterday, to be fair. Curtis, I would take James Justin from Leicester. He looks decent, man. Big up Shaw, my guy. Respect, bro. Right, let's have a look what else is going off. Lots going off. I wanted to quickly look at this that came out yesterday. I wanted to know your thoughts on this. This was from Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta says no talks as yet over a new deal for David Luiz, but seems open to the prospect. We haven't talked yet. There are still a few months to go on that. I talk to him all the time about this kind of thing, so we are in a good position. Luiz's recent form, assertive, not making too many basic errors, and finding a teammate on hand to help when he does, reflects that of Arsenal under Arteta for much of this season. It seems the improvements at the back are real. David Luiz typifies Arsenal's defensive revival under Mikel Arteta. Now, David Luiz, right, I'm going to give him credit because I don't think David Luiz gets a lot of credit at Arsenal. Number one, because he made a lot of mistakes last season. And number two, because he's ex-Chelsea. And we've had our fingers burnt by Chelsea a few times, let's be honest. You know, William Gallas for Ashley Cole, Peter Cech, Willian, as we're seeing now. I actually think David Luiz has been very good this season. He's hardly made any big errors. I think he helped Gabriel settle in very well. Them two had a good partnership. And, Gabriel can't get back in the team. And David Luiz and Rob Holding have looked solid. Now, that's my praise for David Luiz. That's the praise for him. I look at it on this hand. David Luiz is 33. He turns 34 this year, I believe. Now, would you want to give David Luiz another 1-year contract? Moving forward, next season, we'll have Rob Holding, Pablo Mari, Saliba will be back, and Gabriel. We also have Callum Chambers and Mavropanos. I would probably sell Mavropanos and sell Callum Chambers. Obviously, Socrates and Mustafi out this month. That would leave us with 5 centre-backs if David Luiz is there. But I actually think we need to sign a centre-back in the summer. Unless Saliba comes back and he's a revelation, which hopefully he is. I would still like us to sign another centre-back. Would I give David Luiz a new contract? I'm not sure I would. He's been very good this season, and you could argue that with his experience and his leadership, he's earned one. But the fact he's on close to 100 grand a week, I would more look at it and say, listen, finish this season well, give him a pat on the back. Thank you for your service and for your leadership. You've been a big character in the dressing room. But I would possibly move on from it. You know, heading towards 34, David Luiz, would I really want to give him another deal? Is he going to be prepared to just play a backup role at Arsenal? I mean, look, he turns 34 in April the 22nd. I got to be honest, I would finish the season and probably move him on, especially because of the high wages as well. Although I do appreciate his leadership qualities at the club. What do you guys think? Would you give David Luiz a new 1-year contract, or would you move him on? Let me know. Teddy said, I would give him another year, but only 50k a week. Would he take 50k a week? He could possibly get more than that elsewhere. He's been linked with a move to Benfica, in fact. I think David has another year in him. Yeah, but I don't know. I wouldn't risk it. No new contract. It'll be part of the backroom staff. Well, if they did that, then maybe I would. It is a difficult one. Someone's saying there it's a difficult one because I actually quite like David Luiz as a character. I've heard a lot of positive things about him in the dressing room, saying, how much of a leader he is, how popular he is in the dressing room. And you can't buy that kind of experience. It's not easy to come by. So I can understand why the club are looking at it. But at the same time, he's on a high wage, and I would possibly cut my losses on Luiz. Why doesn't Luiz become a mascot? Yeah, he can be the new Gunnosaurus. Contract extensions FC. It's crazy, man. I would give him my handshake and say, thank you, bye. I think that's where I'm at with it, man. He's come in. We only signed him as a short-term player, to be honest. He's been here now. This will be his second season. I think that's it. I don't think you take him into the third year as a 34-year-old. He'll be starting next season, 34 years of age on his way to 35. Although Zama puts up an argument here. Yes, one more year because Thiago Silva still does it. 36 for Chelsea. We need a leader in the dressing room. That is the thing. Listen, if he took a considerable wage cut and he was prepared to be a backup player, if he just said, look, you're fourth, fifth choice, and he'll take 40, 50 grand a week, then I could understand it. But if it's anything near this 80, 90 grand he's on at the moment, I would walk away from it, No, give Luiz 1 year contract. You can tell the young guns like him. I want the best for Saka and Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Emile. He seems a good role model for them. They talk very highly of him. There's no time for sentiment, though. There's no time for sentiment. Listen, like I said, if he cuts that contract down by 20, 30, 40 grand a week and plays a backup role, then possibly. But if he's expecting a similar wage, I would walk away from it and shake his hand and walk away. And big up Shadman with a super chat. Thank you. Said, I do see Arteta promoting an academy graduate. Mark McGuinness is on loan at Ipswich, doing really good. Let's hope so. I'd like to see some young players come through and start performing, man. We've seen it with Smith Rowe and that. It's ideal. What do you think for the likes of Pepe? Listen, Pepe for me is revitalized right now. The last two performances, despite not, scoring against Man United, I thought Luke Shaw was scared of him all game. We just didn't get the ball to him enough. In the Southampton game, he did well on the left. Pepe has to continue that form. Pepe, for me, his future can still be at Arsenal if he finishes this season strong. We paid 72 million. I would hate for Pepe to be sold in the summer for 25, 30 million. I want us to get the best out of him and build a future with him. He's 25 years of age, people. He could have 3 or 4 top years at Arsenal with the likes of Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, Partey, Tierney, Gabriel, all these players at a good age. I want Pepe's form to continue. Big up Jamarcus with a super chat. Thank you very much, bro. He said, Holding, Mari and Saliba have an injury-prone history. Saliba, Gabriel, all don't really have Premier League experience. So there is an argument for David Luiz. I think Luiz has done his job. It's time to go. That's where I'm at, really. But as I said, if he took a big pay cut, then I could get my head around it. Carol said, totally agree, Curtis. 1 year contract, only if he becomes fifth choice with less money. Have to integrate Saliba into the first team next season, 100%. Big up Connor. He says, big up Curtis, love from Ireland. Thank you very much, bro. I don't think Pepe is good enough. Nah, I disagree, man. Pepe's back. Pepe's back in business for me now. He's just got to keep it up. It's got to keep it up, Pepe's finding his footing in the team. Agreed. Even his work rate the last couple of games has been a lot better, but that work rate has to continue. Where's Chambers right now? He needs to be sold on. I would move Chambers on in the summer. You've got to look at players like Chambers, Bellerin, El Neni, potentially Lacazette as well. Players that you can sell and make money off in order to go into the transfer market. Because that, look, if we go into the market this summer, we're not going to have huge money to spend on transfers. So we're going to have to raise 30, 40 million by selling players as well as the money that we've already got as well. So listen, we have to make sure that we've got the money to get these players. Chambers is a good squad player, but for me, as I said, Saliba, Gabriel, Pablo Mari, and Rob Holding, and potentially David Luiz. And for me, I would like to sign one, possibly if David Luiz went. I think you could afford to sell Callum Chambers and Mavropanos after his loan. You've also got the likes of Torreira and Guendouzi as well. So there's lots of players there that can be sold. 1,000 of you in the chat. Big up for all tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and hit that subscribe button as well. Terminate Willian's contract next year. Let's hope so. Let's have a look at one or two other stories. Of course, listen, Arsenal fans, we want to see a signing today. According to ESPN, Van Arnold and Ryan Bertrand are Arsenal's 2 transfer targets for the left-back position. Now, I've been looking into this, doing my research at Shaw Sports News, and apparently Van Arnold is the more likely one of the two. Crystal Palace apparently willing to let him go at the right price. They have been picking Tyreek Mitchell ahead of him. Now, we did inquire about Tyreek Mitchell, but apparently, there's something in his contract where his contract will be automatically extended, even though he has 6 months left on his deal. So I think Arsenal were told there's no chance of that. Southampton, I think, have come out and sort of said Ryan Bertrand, they're not going to let him go. I think they're prepared to let him see out his contract. So Van Arnold is the one that may be possible. And look, I think we do need a backup left back. Cedric played all right there, but for me, Cedric needs to play right back. I think he's better than Hector Bellerin at the moment. And when Tierney's back, we need a backup left back. We know Kieran Tierney's injury prone. You're not going to get a top level left back to come to Arsenal and be second choice when they know we've got Kieran Tierney there. Kieran Tierney is a top level player. And listen, Van Arnold, he's okay. He's okay. I've never thought he was a great player defensively, if I'm being honest. But he is a good attacking fullback in that sense. And as a backup player, 30 years of age, for a couple of years, it wouldn't be that bad. But Roy Hodgson did say he doesn't know anything about this deal at the moment. So let's wait and see on that. Would you guys be happy with Van Arnold as a backup left back for Arsenal? I think it would be okay. Nothing to go crazy about. But I've watched him play a few times and definitely think he is a good attacking fullback. That's for sure. So yeah, personally, if we got Van Arnold, I would be reasonably happy. It's a sensible signing as a backup. What do you guys think? I take him as decent. Yeah, I think he's all right. He's good on FIFA. Yeah, he always seems to have decent FIFA cards. Shaw Sports News sounds good. SS News, yeah, man. We're taking over Sky, man. Van Arnold can do a job as backup, definitely. Van Arnold's final ball is quality. Cedric is better than Bellerin. I would agree with that. Roy Hodgson been listening too much Tion Wayne about, I don't know. Come on, man. This guy with his one-liners, Make sure you go and subscribe to Broads. Broads, let the people know as well. Are you live today? Are you doing anything today? And I'll push that for you, bro. Let me know. He can do a job. Get the Scottish kid from Hibs. What's his name? Van Arnold's like Alonso, great attack but poor defense. Van Arnold is homegrown as well. Yeah, I believe so because he actually came through the youth system at Chelsea. So I believe he is considered still a homegrown player, which is a massive bonus for us. Shaw Sports News, Big C, that's the new name for the daily evening show. Yeah, why not, man? Let's run with it if people like it. Mourinho is finished. Why did you want him? Look at his CV, my bro. Look at his CV. Listen, I did address this earlier in the video. I knew this was going to come up. Listen, I'll quickly repeat myself. As I said, number one, what Mourinho does at Tottenham has no reflection on what he may have done at Arsenal. Two different jobs. They're not the same. They don't reflect each other. Number two, we're still behind them in the league. They're still in a League Cup final. They're not having a good time, and they are struggling. And I have to admit, I think Mourinho may struggle to be there beyond next season because he seems to be losing his head and digging out the club. Man was saying, I've won more trophies than Tottenham and that. So when you say things like that, the fans of Tottenham may turn on him. But listen, Mourinho's bigger than Tottenham for me. I'm not even joking. That guy's a giant, fam. That guy's a giant in the game. Tottenham ain't won a trophy for how long, bro? So there's my response. But listen, let's make sure we're above them in the league before we start laughing. You know what I mean? Bless, bro. Yeah, I'll go live 11 p.m. Make sure you check out Broads TV, 11 p.m. Go and watch that. Go and subscribe. Yeah, I'll get the Celtic striker. Yeah, Odsonne Edouard, possibly in the summer. I think with Celtic struggling, looks like Rangers will probably win the Scottish League this year. So that one is not impossible. Mustafi to Schalke. Listen, we're having a party later, man. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. Football heritage. Tell them, man. Defo don't want Mourinho. It's fair enough. Listen, it's opinions, innit? It's all opinions. That's what makes football great. We all see the game slightly different, and that's fair enough. Let's have a look. Mourinho a done dada to Arteta, scrum half rugby manager. Oh dear, it's all opinions. As I said, Robbie's coming on later in the week, and you know, we will be having a good debate on that whole situation, because he was the first one messaging me last night. Oh, your boy Mourinho, this, that, the other. I said, okay, it's fair enough. It's all opinions. Listen, let's have a look at a few other things. Jose wants money, definitely wants money. Lacroix or Pepe, which one stays? Pepe for me, you know. I think Aubameyang could play central, Martinelli could, or we could even bring in another striker. Wenger didn't want him anywhere near Arsenal, but Wenger couldn't beat him. You know, how many times did Wenger get slapped all over the place by him? You know, so yeah, it's I don't get too caught up in the emotion of these things. You know, I really don't. If he can come in and do a job, Sol Campbell was Tottenham captain. You know, Tottenham captain, celebrating them playing and scoring against us. When he left and came to Arsenal, who cared about him being at Tottenham? I didn't care. As soon as he put that Arsenal shirt on, everything was forgiven. If Mourinho came to Arsenal and done the business, I wouldn't have cared. Wenger, you're part of the reason, Wenger, while we're in this mess. The first part of Wenger's time, you're a legend. Of course you are. Even towards the end. But then the last few years, he crumbled, brother. And he left us with an absolute mess that we're only just clearing up now. You know? So, listen, I don't buy into that. Backhanded, not slapped. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. He was backhanding Wenger all over the place on the pitch. Big up Shadman, thank you for the super chat. He said, Inter can't pay for Hakimi anymore. We should be going all out in the summer. Yeah, I read that Inter haven't even been able to pay their first installment of the deal because they've got no money. They're going to have to sell in the summer. Arsenal should be all over that Hakimi deal. Apparently, he's very interested in the Premier League as well. Broads are up on your stream later. Yeah, make sure you do, people. Make sure you do. I'd rather Steve Bruce than Jose. Come on, bro. Serious, man. You know, I think the problem with Jose at Tottenham, his team is built all around Kane and Son. As soon as one of them gets injured, it's a problem. I said, my mum said, William, is she mad? Man's on that troops thing. Dear, we should have got Hakimi the first time. Well, listen, if we get him now, it'll be cheaper, you know, because they need the money. We should also sign Depay for 5 million or 3 in the summer. His contract is running out. Would you take Memphis Depay in the summer on a free? I think I would, you know. I think I would. I think he's improved at Lyon. He's moved from a winger to a central player. I think, you know, he's been captain. I would take Memphis Depay on a free transfer. Got a point to prove as well in the Prem. John Norris said, Mourinho is a quick fix with boring football. Arteta is a risk, but is the future and is trying to play exciting football. Even you must see that. We are starting to see exciting football now, and we saw it at the back end of last season. At the start of this season, we didn't see it. That was my problem. My other problem was, is Arteta going to be at the club long enough to do what he wants to do? His project is a 2 or 3 year project before we probably see the real benefits of it. Now, my point is you still have to achieve something in the meantime while you're developing. And that's been my problem with Mikel Arteta. You look at Mourinho at Man United. He won the Europa League. He won the League Cup. But he left Man United in a better position than when he joined them. He brought that X factor back to the club. He brought big players back in, you know. I think Solskjaer has benefited from Mourinho and his signing. So, listen, I get what you're saying. I think if Arteta can see it through and Edu keeps chipping away at the deadwood, a lot of it is about what we finish this season, you know, what competition we're in and how much we spend in the summer, you know. But I appreciate your super chat. What are your thoughts on Arteta, out or in? I'm kind of on the fence now. I'm still not fully convinced, but I'm seeing shoots of positivity. You know, I'll be honest. I'm seeing things that I'm going, okay, I like that. You know, getting rid of the deadwood in this window, I like that. Signing players of the right profile, Gabriel and Thomas Partey and players like that. I like that, you know. Of course, there's been the odd little mistake, Renarson, Willian, Although I don't think Willian's a complete write-off yet, I still think we can get something out of him as a squad player. But he's got to be cutthroat for me, Arteta, in the summer. Don't get caught up on form all the time. Sometimes use form as a way of selling players rather than thinking, oh, that's the level they're at. You know, I think he's got to make big decisions in the summer with your Bellerins, your Xhakas, your El Nenes, your Lacazettes. Do you keep them moving forward or not? Curtis, we are still not playing quality football. I still think I agree that we can play better football. You know, that season of Unai Emery, right? I'm a season ticket holder. I went to nearly every home game. Until the last 2 weeks when we crumbled, and we know we did. That was a fantastic season. That was a brilliant season to watch. You know, we beat Tottenham. We beat Chelsea. We beat Man United. You know, we put up a better fight against certain teams that we weren't before. We beat Napoli away. We beat Napoli at home. We got to Europa League final. You know, so we were playing good football that year. A lot of it was individual brilliance. I get that, but it was exciting to watch. I still don't think we're there yet. I still think we've got a long way to go. Would you take Van Aanholt as backup? Yeah, if he was cheap. He's 30. He's good going forward. Still think he's a bit suspect defensively, but I would. Curtis, what about Balogun? That one seems to have gone quiet. I don't understand what's happening. Hopefully we get a contract dealt with for him because I want to keep him. Curtis, what's your opinion on Messi's leaked contract figures? Insane. He's earned them in the modern game. I believe it was 555 grand a week after tax. He's one of the greatest footballers of all time. I'm not surprised. So yeah, big up Gunner Girl. Let me give you a plug here, man. What's up, Gooners? I make videos on Arsenal plus football. Please go check it out after. Come on, you Gunners. Gunners family, man. You know, Gooner family. Like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but if he's not playing at wing back, he's not that great, but wants to be a midfielder, but he is not levels for that position. It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You know, apparently he was on his way to Southampton, but he didn't want to play right back. Now it looks as if he may go to West Brom, which for me is a terrible move for him. Zaha in the summer, it depends on the price now. He's getting to that age now where it would depend on the price. I still like Zaha though. I would have always liked him to come to Arsenal. Mustafi close to Schalke. Thank you. So happy about that. Let's have a look at another story before I get out of here. As I said, I will be back later this evening. I'll probably come on about 9 o'clock tonight, somewhere around there. But let's have a look at this. There's time for this to change, of course, but looking likely Reese Nelson will stay at Arsenal. It was reported on Friday there had been no breakthrough and the right club yet to emerge despite interest from Spain and Germany. I mean, there was even rumours yesterday that Unai Emery wanted him at Villarreal. And Valencia as well were being linked with him. But it looks like Reese Nelson will stay, which... See, he to me is one of the players I would have loaned out because I look at it and I think on that right-hand side of midfield, Saka's played there, Pepe played there the other day, Willian's there, you know, that's 3 wingers in front of him. I don't see Nelson hardly getting a kick for Arsenal between now and the end of the season, and I think he could have done with a loan. Funnily enough, I would have probably loaned out Nelson and Nketiah ahead of Maitland-Niles and Joe Willett, which is interesting. That Nelson stays. I don't see him getting a lot of football. What are your thoughts on that? Should we have loaned Reese Nelson out? Is there any point keeping him? And would you sell him in the summer? For me, Reese Nelson, he was classed as a star in the under-23s. He really hasn't developed in the Arsenal first team. He hasn't made any kind of breakthrough. And you know, I just don't think he should be sitting at the club not playing. I would have loaned him out definitely if I was Arsenal. So Reese Nelson, what are your thoughts on that one? I won't write off Nelson yet, but I'd still loan him. Definitely, man. Definitely. Curtis, my guy, what do you think about Saliba saying he's hurt by Arsenal? I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised. You know, you go and pull him out of Saint Etienne, you wait a year, and then you sit him in the under-23s and just waste 6 months of his football development. So I'm not surprised. And, you know, them comments won't go down well with Mikel Arteta. But, he's speaking his truth, man, and I don't blame him for saying them things. Nelson has wasted so many years at Arsenal. Just go. He doesn't seem to want to leave. He really doesn't seem to want to leave at all, to be honest. His development between about the age of 18, 19 to 21 has not been great. Nelson won't play unless we get beer injuries. I agree. Where's the yellow tie, Curtis? You're a big Donny now. Fix up. I don't even know if I've got a yellow tie. I might have to turn up with a tie later for the stream. David, big up TT Gaming. He says, bro, have you forgot the mess Arteta walked into? I know you wanted Allegri, time to get over that one. No, there was a few, I liked Ancelotti. I liked Mourinho. I liked Allegri. I felt they were all qualified to come in and do the job at the time, but we are where we are, and it looks like, we're here with Mikel Arteta. Zaha and Grealish in the summer, bro. I mean, I would love that, but you're looking over 100 million for them too. So I don't see Arsenal dropping that kind of money. There are rumours, as I said. People were saying if Arsenal get Champions League, we're going to go for Grealish. How true that is, I don't know. MSA TV said, good job, Curtis. Love your channel, keeping my sanity in check. Listen, man, big up everyone for your support and tuning in. I have to admit, this lockdown, personally, has been the hardest out of the three. I think the first one, we didn't know what was going on. We had nice weather here in England, and then we came out of it. We went back in for a month, but this one, we don't know when it's going to finish. You've got the winter weather. It's cold. It's dark. It's important we help each other, man. So the interaction and just keeping busy. So I really appreciate all of your support on the channel. Andre said, you missed my super chat, bro. Apologies. Maybe it came up when I was looking at the other page. So apologies for that if I miss your super chat. Hakimi plus Basuma Sabitzer, that would be a great summer. There are rumours that Sabitzer could be available for 25 million in the summer. I would be all over that. And Hakimi for 25, no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Lockdown in South Africa has been ish. Yeah, I mean, everywhere it's tough. All around the world, man. I'm sure it's difficult. Of course, there are certain parts of the world that are not in lockdown. No, I got your super chat, bro. Apologies. Obviously, when I do the screen share, I can't click on the comments. So sometimes when a comment comes in, I miss them. You should be wearing a suit. Yo, listen, don't get me started, I'll turn up in a suit and tie later, I'll turn up in one. I'll have a look if my suit's all ironed and stuff, and my shirt. I'll turn up in a shirt and tie later on. I'll challenge Jim White. But look out for the stream later. I will definitely do one later as well, just to keep you all up to date with what's going off and all the transfer latest. Of course, Ainsley Maitland-Niles situation as well. Let me just show you this one before I get out of here, because Ainsley, of course, looks like he's going to leave Arsenal today. Now, this is an interesting situation. West Brom reignite talks to sign Ainsley Maitland-Niles on a straight loan deal. Should get done. West Brom looked out yesterday as the 23-year-old targeted Leicester and Arsenal favoured Southampton. But Arsenal won't send him to a rival, and Ainsley didn't want Southampton. Strange situation. Now, I have to admit, I think Arsenal have treated Ainsley Maitland-Niles quite badly. He had an opportunity to go to Wolves in the summer for 20 million, which when you think we couldn't afford to sign Hossam Aouar in the summer, that 20 million from Ainsley might have been the difference between getting him and not. You reject a move, which is a good move for him, to go to an exciting team in Wolves. They haven't been that great this year, but they're decent. You keep him, don't play him. You get to this transfer window. He's got an opportunity to go to Leicester, who have been flying this season. Good manager, good young players. Apparently, Ainsley's good friends with James Maddison. And you reject the deal because Arsenal see Leicester as a rival. Which, okay, all right, you're not willing to sell him to Leicester because you see them as a rival. Now, Leicester at the moment are 4th and 8 points clear of us, right? But we were willing to let him go to Southampton, who are 2 points behind us with a game in hand. So if Southampton win, they're a point ahead of us. Now, apparently, Ainsley didn't want to go to Southampton because Southampton want Ainsley to play at right back. And Ainsley, of course, has still got this thing that he wants to play in midfield. And Southampton didn't see him as good enough to play for their team in midfield. So the Southampton deal has fallen through. Southampton have pulled out of that deal. They don't want Ainsley now. They wanted him at right back. He wanted to play centre mid. That deal isn't happening. Arsenal won't allow him to go to Leicester because they see him as a rival, which is a bit ironic, really, when you think, all the players we've sold to rivals over the years, Alexis Sanchez, Van Persie, all these great players. And now Ainsley is probably going to end up on loan at West Brom. West Brom, second from bottom in the league, 9 points off safety. They're getting slapped all over the place. They got the worst goal difference in the league. All right, maybe you go to West Brom and play centre mid. They'll lose most weeks. They'll probably get relegated. And I don't think Gareth Southgate would have anything to do with Ainsley if he's at West Brom. I don't think that helps him get in the England squad in the summer. To me, he's made it difficult for himself there. Number one, Arsenal have done him harsh, not letting him go to Leicester. But, maybe they see Leicester as a rival, which is what they're saying. Should he have just bitten his tongue and gone to Southampton, played right back, maybe try and get your way into midfield while you're there? To me, West Brom is not a great move for him. Okay, maybe you can play centre mid where you want to play, but they're getting relegated. So Ainsley, bro, it looks like you're going to end up at West Brom and probably getting beat most weeks. Arsenal ruining Ainsley Maitland-Niles' career. What do you guys make of Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Have Arsenal done him dirty by, number one, not selling him to Wolves, and then now not allowing him to go to Leicester? Or do you guys look at it and think it's Ainsley's fault, Bellerin had a year out the team. He never stamped his authority at right back. He's been a bit inconsistent. He's apparently had problems off the pitch, turning up late and stuff. I don't know. I kind of think Arsenal have done him a bit dirty, man. He could have gone to Wolves, which would have been a good move. Leicester would have been a fantastic move for him. Instead, he goes to West Brom. I'm not sure he achieves that much at West Brom. Broad said Leicester was a better move for Ainsley and Arsenal. Rodgers would really help him. Arsenal do not think at all. I mean, if he goes to Leicester and does well, his price goes up, because he's at a more high-profile team. How much are you going to get for him, even if he does all right at West Brom? I'm not sure West Brom is a particularly good move for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if I'm being totally honest. I don't know what's in the future for Ainsley. The club could have done so much better with his development. I totally agree with that. I think they should have handled this better. If they didn't want him in the summer, we should have got the best price possible and moved him on. Move him on to Wolves if that's the case. What did we reject the deal for in the summer? To keep him and not play him? That really doesn't make sense to me. Curtis, none of us wanted Arsenal to sell him in the summer. You're right, but what I'll say, they should have sold him if they didn't want to keep him. It doesn't matter what the fans think. He's the manager. This is a bit controversial, but listen, he said, they always say the black guy turns up late when they're trying to talk ish about him. Grealish crashes car, gets drunk and gets praised. Well, there we go. But it is what it is, You know how it goes. It's unspoken, unfortunately. People don't listen. He don't want to play right back. Why do you think he's not playing for Arsenal right now? But then surely he should have spoken with Mikel Arteta and said, listen, I want to play centre midfield. Arteta says, I don't see you playing centre mid for Arsenal. And they go, well, listen, go and play for Wolves then. 20 million quid. Go and play for Wolves. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Currently selling Mustafi on career mode. Oh, man, I might turn on FIFA now and just release him. Just get rid of him. But Grealish is balling, so he gets away with it, possibly, yeah. Curtis, for the past 10 years, everybody that leaves Arsenal football clubs wins something big enough for their career. Well, I'm not sure what Ainsley will win at West Brom. Maybe a championship. Ainsley sold for 40 million to Leicester. Lovely, yeah. If only, bro. If only. He's decent centre mid. He's quick and dynamic. I always heard the thing was that people were saying that he was a bit sloppy on the ball, a bit too laid back. But we always remember that man of the match performance at Old Trafford, and it hasn't developed from there for Ainsley, man. Hi, Curtis, like the show. Thank you very much. SOS Children's Village, Jamaica. Sam says, big up, Big C. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles is not a fighter. He's had his opportunities but didn't take them. You could say that, bro. Real talk on that black comment. They're facts. I think Arteta clearly wants Ainsley at Arsenal, but his attitude does stink. Why should it matter where you're playing? You're playing for Arsenal. I have to say, we don't know factually that Ainsley doesn't want to play right back for Arsenal. Maybe he said that about Southampton, maybe not for Arsenal. We don't know, but it doesn't seem good. Free Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I think he would do really well at Leicester under a young progressive coach like Brendan Rodgers, who seems to get the best out of players. I mean, they signed James Justin from the Championship, I think, and look how well he's doing right now. Go West Brom, show Arsenal you can play centre mid, come back, you will play centre mid or be sold. It's just if West Brom are getting slapped every week, he might just look a part of the mess. Love from Stanmore, big up, bro. Appreciate you supporting. Ainsley Maitland-Niles doesn't have the passing range for him to be playing in midfield. Also, he hasn't got wing mirrors to be aware of everything around him. Playing on the wing is easier than the middle. But you can be a good centre mid with simple passing range, But his awareness, we would have to see. Broad said, bro, do you know how many people have called me Curtis on my streams? Then they blame it on lack of concentration. China Lee said, bro, you ain't reading my comment. No more. Keep Ainsley. The kid's got mental health problems. That's a strong comment, bro. You can't make accusations like that without knowing. Get the best deal for Ainsley. I mean, to me, I would have said to Leicester, right, okay, Leicester, if you want to take him on loan, I want an obligation for you to buy him in the summer for a decent price, And this is where I think Arsenal sometimes get these deals wrong, All right, on one hand, if he goes to West Brom and does well, then, maybe we can get him out or bring him back. But if he goes there and struggles, his value's gone down the pan. He's gone to a team that have been relegated and struggled. Now people are looking at him as a flop. Ollie B said, Curtis, you are a footballer. Do you think Ainsley Maitland-Niles can be trained out of his sloppiness? I mean, do we look at him and think is he sloppy on the ball, Ainsley? I don't know. Is that more of a myth, or is that a fact that he's sloppy on the ball? So let's see. I don't know. I think that's a bit harsh. Hector Bellerin's sloppy on the ball. That guy does foul throws and that. So hey, let's see. Chris said Leicester would have been a perfect loan for him. I think he would have done well there. If he plays more than 20 games, we'll do a deal, Curtis. Yeah, I mean, listen, you never know. They still might turn to Leicester at the end. Curtis, do you know Marcus Rashford was racially abused yesterday? I mean, honestly, right? That one got to me even more, and it's not like, I mean, this racial abuse that players are getting is disgusting. It's disgusting. But when you look at what Marcus Rashford has done, he single-handedly helped millions of kids in this country get fed during this pandemic. Literally has fed people's kids during this window, fighting the fight that these MPs were willing to just give up on. This guy misses a chance against Arsenal and people racially abuse him. I don't know. Society just knows no boundaries at the moment. And this social media stuff, man, at the moment, it's getting out of hand. When are the social media networks going to make people accountable for it? I'm sorry, and we've had this debate on other streams, but you should have to show identification to set up an account. You should have to, so that if anybody receives that kind of abuse, they can track down who says it. Something has got to change, man, because this next generation is getting out of hand. People can say whatever they like behind a computer screen and have no accountability. And these social media accounts like Twitter and Instagram, they don't care about it. Until they change it, nothing's going to improve. It's crazy. I was absolutely disgusted that people did that to Marcus Rashford. Doing it to anyone is ridiculous. But doing it to him is just like, come on, man, come on. And listen, one thing I will say, I'm not going to say that it's Man United fans, because to me, once you racially abuse someone, you are no longer a football fan, in my opinion. So it's crazy. I don't want to go too far off football, but I was disgusted in that. ID to set up accounts. Yeah, tired of people talking ish from behind the phone. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. People, I'm out of here. Sorry to end on that note, but listen, at least we can have a party. Mustafi is leaving Arsenal. Back, Mr. What did he call himself? Hashtag back on top. Get him out the door. One of the worst centre-backs we've ever signed. I'll be back later this evening, maybe around 8 o'clock, but check out your, make sure you hit that notification bell, because some people say sometimes they don't get the notifications. So make sure you hit that. I will be back around 8 or 9, somewhere around there. When the news is breaking, we'll go live. Tune in later. Big up everyone. Hope you're well. Keep that mind occupied, man. Don't let this lockdown hold you down and keep you down, man. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We've been here for over an hour. Sure Sports News, man. Deadline Day special. I'll be back tonight. I might even turn up in the suit and tie, man. Jim White. Look out, man. I'm coming for you, bro. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. I'll be back later this evening. Hopefully, Arsenal will have signed a left back. Enjoy. Bless.